It almost seems like Donald Trump wants to fracture his MAGA coalition, because with the cover-up of the Epstein files, the attacks on Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert, and Thomas Massie, and the embracing of Zohran Mamdani, which Donald, by the way, I don't blame you, the guy is great. Donald Trump has split his MAGA coalition in so many parts. Too many parts actually to ever put back together. And it's not just me who is realizing it. The host over at Fox are as well. And they are dying inside and now attacking Donald Trump for doing so after not just a meeting with Zohran Mamdani, in which he was completely charmed and humiliated, but actually an insane post about him as well. We're going to get into it all. But before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already, and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button, because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, before we get into that Trump post and the reaction from the Fox host, I want to start with how Donald Trump responded to Zohran Mamdani yesterday in their Oval Office meeting.
For you, you referred to Mr. Mamdani as a communist. Can you describe why you feel that way? And also, will you do anything to stop him from arresting Prime Minister Netanyahu if he visits New York?
Well, we didn't discuss your second part of the question. And on your first part, I mean, he's got views that are a little out there, but who knows? I mean, we're going to see what works, or he's going to change also. We all change. I changed a lot. From when I first came to office. It's now quite a while ago. It's quite a while. My first term was great. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We're doing even better now. We're doing much better now than we did even the first term. And I can tell you some of my views have changed. And we had discussions on some things. I'm not going to discuss what they were, but that I feel very confident that he can do a very good job. I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually.
Donald Trump was putty in Zohran's hands. And no wonder. This is an incredibly charismatic guy who is, of course, handsome and communicates his message very, very well. So it's no surprise that Donald Trump is just going to fall in love with someone who is incredibly media savvy. And we know Trump likes so-called winners. And that is exactly what Zohran is. He not only beat Trump, beat Cuomo, beat the billionaire backers of both of them, but he took on the corporate establishment, the Democratic establishment as well, and won. Zohran is a winner. It is impossible not to like this guy. So yes, Donald Trump was charmed, and much like Mark Carney and President Zelensky have in the past, he got played. Zohran did not go in there and kowtow and bend the knee and say, "Oh, Donald, you're so great." He very subtly mocked him, as we saw yesterday, but he played Donald Trump, and Trump was putty in his hands. It is the reason why Caroline Levitt immediately got on Fox right after and tried to defend Trump with one of the more ridiculous responses I have seen out of her that really just gave away the game of how terrified Trump is of the MAGA fracture.
President Trump is willing to meet with anybody, to sit across the table, to shake hands, look people in the eye, and have discussions on how they can mutually benefit the American public. And don't forget, President Trump is a lifelong New Yorker. He loves that city. He helped build the skyline as it exists and shines today. So, of course, he wants New York to succeed. He wants all of America to succeed because he is a president for all Americans, despite what the Democrat Party and the leftist media might tell the American people every single day. The president wants this country to come together, and you saw that on full display in the Oval Office. Now, actions, of course, speak louder than words, and ultimately the mayor-elect will be judged by the actions he actually takes in New York.
Carolyn, you are well aware of who Donald Trump is, right? He does not love New York City. It is not his city. That city fucking hates Donald Trump, by the way. First of all, Donald Trump is constantly calling New York a shithole, saying that it's falling apart, saying that it's awful. Imagine if, and I know we could play this game all day long, but imagine if Kamala Harris at any point in the 2024 election, or any Democrat ever, was like some town in Oklahoma or Mississippi, or you name, a red state was like shitty town. Right-wing media would lose their minds and say that the Democrats are elitist going after real America. But you know what? New York is real America. It doesn't get realer than New York. At least the vision that Zohran wants to build of a New York that people can afford and not be kicked out of by billionaires buying up all the real estate and not actually living in it. Giant corporations driving people out of their homes with sky-high prices that are just gouging. No, New York is real America. And Donald Trump doesn't love it. And it doesn't love him. Although he tried to embrace ZOHRAN, but it didn't work. Because after he posted this, a Fox host had a post, and it was not great for Trump. Donald Trump wrote on Truth Social, "It was a great honor meeting ZOHRAN Mamdani, the new mayor of New York City." He also shared some extra images of him in ZOHRAN. Ron Philip Kowalski of Midas Touch noted that this Fox business analyst shared a New York Post story and said, "I really think the wheels are coming off the Trump presidency. Wow." Also, I played in my video yesterday that we made on this Oval Office meeting. Brian Kilmeade just, gobsmacked is the only word to describe it at what went down between ZOHRAN and Trump, and literally said that J.D. Vance should be jealous. Which I like J.D. Vance should be jealous of anyone, because anything and anyone is better than being with J.D. Vance. I really can't imagine what spending time with J.D. Vance like that. That couldn't be a good hang. But, yeah, Fox is stunned. And they're surprised, and then Riley Gaines the transphobic. What did she come in 6th place, asshole that she is? She was on Fox at their Christmas tree lighting ceremony, instead of being like, joy. And what a lovely season to be kind to all people. She's like, "I gotta spend some time in New York before the commie comes in." And it's like, Did you not get your talking points? Riley Gaines. Donald Trump already said that we're cool with ZOHRAN. He was asked, as a billionaire, would you leave New York City? He's like, no. This guy seems great. Look how handsome he is. He's got cool rings and a nice smile. I like him. New York is cool. Donald Trump has just destroyed the one argument that MAGA promised that they were going to be hammering through the midterms. Remember this when they're like, ZOHRAN is going to scare off all the voters in all these swing states because we're going to say he's the Democratic Party. Oh no, the Democratic Party wants the bus to run on time and wants it to be free and wants you to have childcare. It wants you to be able to afford your home and afford groceries. Fucking, oh my God, what's going to happen? And now what are they going to say? Are they going to say that ZOHRAN's still the scary communist? Donald Trump practically gave him a kiss on the cheek. He was in love with the guy. So no, it's not going to work. It's not going to work for you, MAGA. And Donald Trump's coalition is blown up. He is screwing himself on the daily. And I've just, loved watching it. I really have. It has been fantastic. And clearly Chris's as well, because he had this to say about the meeting yesterday.
But I don't think anyone expected the president to be quite so effusive, and Fox News was pretty clearly stunned.
I think J.D. Vance is jealous. I think the president wants to use him as a running mate. They really got along fantastic.
It was a surprise to see those two getting along as well as they did. A couple of times I asked the mayor-elect a tougher question, and the president almost helped him dodge it.
This was a love fest. It's a respect fest.
Respect fest. Now, Mayor-elect Mamdani is the one who requested the meeting, but I think it was the Trump administration that hoped to co-opt some of his credibility. I mean, Mamdani's whole deal, the driving force behind this successful and truly improbable campaign, has been, as you've heard 1,000 times now, the issue of affordability. And the first time, remember this, the first time many New York voters outside of his district heard of Mamdani was when he shared this video online basically exactly a year ago. And it was just a week after the election. And he went and spoke to voters in working class communities of color where Trump had overperformed, where he gained a huge vote share. And when asked why, the answer was clear: affordability.
The swing is because people want lower prices. They probably believe that Trump will give them that.
Market price, or
energy, gas,
la comida,
food.
Most of these people are working families. They're working 1 to 2, 3 jobs, and rent is expensive. Foods are going up, utility bills are up.
And that's your hope, to see a little bit more of an affordable life?
Absolutely.
Now, that insight was key for a number of reasons. First, it was a proof of concept that running a campaign nearly singularly focused on the cost of living could be a successful strategy, both for Mamdani, who, again, was polling at 1%, and also we've seen Democrats nationwide, but also, and this is really important, because it completely undermines the Trump administration's entire theory of why they won. During the campaign and its immediate aftermath, Donald Trump knew that affordability was his best issue. Remember how much he talks about groceries like he invented the term? And there's him posing with some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Since then, everyone seems to have forgotten about it entirely in the Trump administration. The new theory that was adopted by Donald Trump and Stephen Miller and parroted all too often in the press, even before all the votes were counted a year ago, was that the election was actually a referendum on right-wing culture war. That Americans hated wokeness and they wanted to own the libs and they were mad at COVID restrictions and had enough of trans people. And the White House insisted the median voter basically had the politics of Stephen Miller. That was always total nonsense. Donald Trump won by 1.5 points because a relatively small number of voters in the overall pool of voters moved from one column to the other over the fact that stuff costs too much money. At this point, a year out, that's about as clear as day. That was Zohran Mamdani's central insight. Exactly a year ago today, basically. Trump, by contrast, has refused to learn the lesson of last year's election. He has done nothing on the cost of living. In fact, he has made the problem much worse with his unilateral tariffs. So now, nearly a year into this administration, J.D. Vance has to go out and beg the voters to be patient.
We understand that there's a lot more work to do. And the thing that I'd ask for the American people is a little bit of patience. This economy was not harmed in 10 months.
A little bit of patience. Why don't you guys hold your horses? Cool down a little bit. We're going to get there. Now, Donald Trump repeatedly promised to bring down prices on day one and not just lower the rate of increase, like bring them down. Everything would be solved right away. But the economy is worse than when he took over. The administration is spiraling. Trump's approval ratings are cratering. His own party's starting to buck him. And each day he inches closer and closer to being a complete and total lame duck. So today, the oldest man ever elected president invited the 34-year-old Democratic socialist to the Oval Office and lavished praise on him and started talking about affordability. He even took to social media later in the day to post about what a great honor it was meeting Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor of New York City. He included 4 photos of the men together in various parts of the White House, and even this shot of Mamdani alone in front of a portrait of FDR. A truly improbable, hilarious.
Just truly delicious stuff. It's delicious. It is delicious. I love watching MAGA fracture. I love Donald Trump being humiliated. And I love Serena Madani. That's my day one. We've been ride or die for him on this show, and we're going to continue to uplift progressives like him. And of course, dunk on Donald Trump's dumbass. And if you want to support that and watch that, because we're having a lot of fun as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. If you stuck around to the end, drop a blue heart in the comments. Keep on fighting, y'all. Don't let him silence you. Until next time, I'll see you soon.